Hey, I'm Jules, head of data over here at Census. And in today's example, I'm going to walk through how we built an upsell likelihood score based on the traits that we identified using GPT columns of our higher tier customers. So essentially, run an analysis. What are the traits more likely seen in higher tier customers versus lower tier customers? And then take that analysis and run it against our entire customer database and find customers that are in the lower tier but have traits more commonly found in the higher tier and see if we can get them to upsell. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create two data points. And we're going to create two data points that will give us the upsell score and then the upsell kind of category, essentially what trait they most closely align with so that we can tailor the messaging to them more closely. So I'm going to show you how we created those two data points now. So we'll come into Census, and we first have to build that analysis for what are the traits we commonly see in high tier customers. So we'll go in our high paying customers. And if you're familiar with SQL, great. If not, we're going to provide this sample so you can just send this off to your data team as what you're looking for. And essentially what we've done is we've just grabbed a set of customers that have signed up within the last 120 days to 90 days ago. And we've grouped them by the membership price so that we can get one field per membership price and all the customers and their traits so that we will have the ability to compare those two fields and see which traits are more commonly found in the higher tier versus the lower tier. So we have the $129.99, the $29.99, the $49.99, and the $79.99. So we've prepped the data now, and now it's time to go do our AI analysis to figure out the likelihood of each trait being associated with the high tier plan. So go into our columns, and we will come into our upsell score analysis, and we've created this prompt to essentially compare the $129.99 plan versus the $29.99 plan, and we want it to output what are the traits that we see more commonly associated with the higher tier plan versus the lower tier plan, and it will return those traits, the values, the percentages, and the likelihood for us, which we can then send off to our team to get their feedback and their approval on. So I have the output here, and I like to actually just copy this and bring it right into ChatGPT so that it can build a table for me that I can then send off to the stakeholders that need to approve it, and we can adjust the prompt if there's any feedback and just get it to the point where everybody is happy with it. And once we get there, we can save it. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the second part. And so we're going to go into our data set, we're going to go into all users, and we're going to now add, so this census data set, that's the GPT output that we just produced, right? So now we're going to add this to every single one of our customers, and we're going to be able to compare that analysis to the traits that they have. So you'll see that each customer has this lined up with on their row so that when we do the AI analysis, we'll be able to compare each customer to the upsell score analysis. Come over to the column, and we'll set up the prompt to measure the benchmark against all the traits that each individual customer has. And we'll actually tell the prompt to output two different fields. And the way that we can set that up is in the advanced option. So we can set up the upsell score and the upsell top trait as two separate fields so that we'll get separate columns for both of those outputs. And then we'll just preview this. Great. And then we can take a look at all of our outputs and do a little bit of validation. So this preview, I can see that the upsell score here is high. The reason that it's high is most likely personal training uses. So this is a great message. We can, offer insights into additional benefits of personal training, et cetera, et cetera. And then we can take a look at all the other data points and compare it to our table and make sure that this does make sense, right? So you have all of these outputs that you can validate to make sure it works. Once you're happy with that, then the final step is just to sync it back to your tool. So whether it's your marketing automation tool, a ad platform, you'll come back where we started right at the beginning with these fields, and you can create a list, a segment to run your campaigns on. And that's it.